Billions of people worldwide are giving up on their financial goals simply because of the cost of living crisis. And so if you find yourself amongst these people, then this video is for you. Because in today's video, we're analyzing the 5 decisions and the strategies that you can adopt in order to stay on track towards the attainment of any financial goal that you have or you've set for yourself this year 2026. And if you're new here, my name is Nana. I hold a master's degree in business finance, and on this channel we discuss everything personal finance and personal development. But before we dive deeper, let me start by acknowledging the fact that your fears and your concerns are very rational. Over the last 3 months, we've seen the price of everyday goods and services shoot through the roof, and we've seen the price of fuel and our energy bills shooting through the roof. So one of the key things that you have to highlight is the fact that life is gradually becoming financially challenging for the average household in the US and in the UK. But in the midst of all this turmoil, there's one reason why you don't have to give up, and that is simply because quitting actually comes at a cost. And I use this as an example every single day. In the early 2000s in the UK, you required nearly 3 times the average annual income in order for you to be able to purchase a house in the UK. Fast forward 26 years, in 2026, you need nearly 7.5 times more the annual income on average before you'll be able to purchase a house anywhere in the UK. So holding all the factors constant, within 26 years, you nearly require twice as much effort, twice as much savings, twice as much investment in a bid to purchase the same house, which simply means that if you're to pass down all these financial challenges to your kids, they would actually have to pay nearly twice as much in the future. And that is why you don't have to quit, because quitting comes at a very huge cost, and you're better off paying the cost now and then giving or passing down that relief down the line to the next generation. This brings us to the second reason why you don't have to give up on your financial goals, and that is simply because now financial freedom has become a necessity as opposed to a luxury a couple of years ago. So the truth is, most rich people are now racing towards artificial general intelligence, which has seen most companies gradually navigating their way and actually favoring AI agents and several chatbots and humanoid robots over employing the services of human beings, which simply means that most human beings in the near future would actually become unemployed. And mind you, I've stated earlier that about 60% of the entire workforce in the US are actually living paycheck to paycheck. So in a bid to actually steer most companies towards productivity, because most companies see anywhere between 10% and 15% in increased productivity as a result of AI adoption and automation. So in the future, what you have to know is that getting even a job to do or probably getting an income will become a luxury. And that is why you have to prepare now in a bid to secure your interest in the future. Because the truth is, you can't trust these multi-millionaires and the billionaires proposing all this universal basic income where people would actually be paid irrespective of their employment status. That is not something that you can rely on. And that is why you want to take the future into your own hands and then struggle and strive towards the attainment of financial freedom before we hit the age where AI would actually be rendering so many people worldwide obsolete. This brings us to the third reason why you don't have to give up on your financial goals, and that is simply because JP Morgan is projecting that by July 2026, the average US household would be bearing anywhere between 40% to 90% of the cost associated with tariffs that were slapped on trading partners last year 2025 by President Donald Trump. And so holding all the factors constant, you would be paying anywhere between $470 to $1,400 in excess bills by year end as a result of President Trump's tariffs that were slapped on several trading partners last year 2025. So what that simply means is that the cost of living crisis might actually inch up a little bit, which means that you may actually go through several challenges from here, which means we are not likely going to see any easing in the economy till the year end. And that is why you don't really want to throw in the towel. And so with this understanding, we come to the 5 strategies that you can adopt in a bid to actually steer yourself towards financial freedom without giving up on your financial goals. The first thing that you have to do is to shift to micro goals. And this is how it works. You've got to break down any big goal that you've set for yourself to attain at the end of the year into tiny actionable steps. So for example, if you have the goal of saving 5 grand by the year end, what you can actually do is to ask yourself the simple question: how much do I actually have to save every month in a bid to ensure that by the year end I would have 5 grand saved or invested? And then also what you can do is to ask yourself the same question, but this time on a weekly basis. Now when you break that figure down, you would actually have to save anywhere between $90 and $120 or pounds every single week in order to actually save 5 grand by year end. And so that is what you want to do. You want to actually break that big goal down into tiny actionable steps and tiny actionable savings goals that you can actually hit with ease. And that will subsequently help you to actually find the motivation to drive yourself finally towards the attainment of that lump sum that you want to save by year end. This brings us to the second strategy, and that is to focus on what you can control. So for example, inflation and interest rates are things that are outside your scope of control, which simply means that you cannot really do anything to actually have any direct impact on inflation or interest rates. As opposed to this, it is the central banks, which is in this case the Federal Reserve Bank in the US and the Bank of England, that have the sole prerogative or the constitutional mandate to actually manipulate these interest rates and of course inflation in a bid to ensure financial growth and development. So what you can do is to simply take your eyes off the things that you really do not have much discretion over and then focus on things that you have much focus or authority over. For example, your expenses or your savings. As opposed to all of these things, what you can do is to cut down your expenses and then focus on the very things that you can actually cut back on in a bid to save more and invest at the end of the month. This brings us to the third strategy, and that is to automate your progress. One of the easiest and the most disciplined ways to hit your financial goals is to automate your savings and your investment, simply because it actually eradicates that emotional decision that may subsequently derail you financially. So like I always say, human beings are emotional beings in that we mostly make emotional decisions and then subsequently we make logical reasonings to back that emotional decisions up. But what you have to know is that emotional decision making will not necessarily drive you towards the attainment of your financial goals. If you truly want to become financially free, then you have to actually master your emotions. And this you can always do by automation. So for example, in my case, one of the easiest ways that helps me to actually save money at the end of the month is I treat my savings and my investments like an expense, in that I set up automated direct debits into my investment account and into my savings account. So whether or not I feel like saving or investing, I don't really have any discretion to exercise, in that the money will be taken out of the account regardless of how I'm feeling. And that is one of the easiest and the most disciplined ways to hit your financial goals. That leads us to the fourth strategy, and that is to reduce passive consumption and start creating value. So if you truly want to become financially successful or financially free, there's one thing that you need to know, and that is you have to create value, and then in exchange of that value, people can actually give you money. And this you can do through several means, which includes you having to commercialize your skills. So one of the key things that you have to ask yourself is that as it stands now, what are these skills or the experiences that I have that I can actually share with people that people might find valuable, and then in return they may also pay me some money, which also increases your ability to earn more and to drive yourself towards the attainment of your financial goals altogether. You can actually identify these unfair advantages by listening to podcasts, by reading self-help books, by subscribing to several channels that can help you to bring out the very best in you, which also increases your chances of becoming financially free at the end of the day. This brings us to the fifth and the last strategy, and that is to focus on paying off debt as it stands now. So one of the key things that you can do is to pay off debt. And the reason why I say this is simply because interest rates may likely go up in the near future. As it stands, inflation is hovering anywhere between 3.5% to 3.8% as at the time that I was shooting this video in the US. What that simply means is that the Federal Reserve Bank will be pushed to actually hike interest rates in a bid to control inflation and then also drive down the price of goods and services in the economy. That will subsequently lead to several interest payments going up. So for example, the average annual APR of 21% on credit card debt might actually inch up to maybe like 22% or 23% on average, simply because the Fed is driving or wanting to drive inflation down, and that would actually come at a cost. So as it stands now, try as much as possible to write down all the debt that you have and then start paying them off. You can actually use the debt avalanche method or the snowball method, whichever method actually suits you depending on your finances. Try as much as possible to pay off those debts so that you wouldn't actually have to pay excess in interest rates when the Fed actually adjusts the rates to reflect inflation and to drive down inflation altogether in the US economy. And so, of course, if you find value in this video, kindly smash the like button. It really helps with the algorithm. And then consider subscribing, because I'll be shooting several videos down the line on personal finance and personal development. Thank you for spending time with us, and see you in the next video.